Hey YouTube, this is Casey. Thanks for tuning in. You read that thumbnail right. This video is about how I blew a $7,200 account and what I did to make sure it never happened again. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Last year in March, I want to say, I blew a $7,216 account.
What?
And I remember that day so clear. Anyway, what happened was I had like $4,000 in the balance. I'd taken $150 and I turned it into $4,000. And then I had like $3,000 in equity. So total, the whole account is $7,200, right? And so I put the trades in the night before. And I can't believe that I actually was able to sleep with such large lot sizes. I don't know how I went to sleep. When I used to trade like that, I would be holding my phone all night, like looking at the phone, just trying to make sure it didn't go in the red. And I'm not talking like one lot size that's just really big. I got like 6 positions open at like $30 a pip, $40 a pip on a $3,000 account. See, back then I didn't understand leverage. I didn't understand really, truly what it meant. I was maybe a couple $100 in profit. It hadn't moved a lot. It hadn't gone into the red or negative or anything like that. And so by like 10 o'clock that morning, things start moving, right? All right, I'm good. We good. Things start moving. And so I start adding one more position. Mind you, not even looking at a chart. I hadn't evaluated anything after I got my initial position. I started stacking them on. 10 o'clock, we good. I go from 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 to like 3,500. I'm like, I'm great. I got this. By 11 o'clock, price started pulling back. I'm like, okay, it's just a retracement. I'll be good. Again, not understanding completely market structure, not understanding leverage and what that really meant. I'm good. I seen the guys in the video do it. They took $150 and turned it into 60, 70 grand. I got this. This $22,000 on the table for me. By 11:30, that trade had gone bad. It had eaten up all of the little $3,000 I had in profit, right? Not only that, it was back at zero. It started going into the red, going into the negative. I'm like, okay, I gotta close these out. I had $6,000, a little more than $6,000 in losses that day. I had to close out because otherwise I would have ended up owing the broker money, right? And then I would have lost the whole account. So I ended up with like $800 or whatever. And I remember sitting on my couch, just thinking, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And why does it work for everybody else? Why are guys out here making 60 G's in one trade? Why can't I do that? Then I'm like, okay, one, I didn't have the skill or the knowledge to be able to do it like that. Secondly, that's not the ideal way to trade, right? And so I started thinking to myself and I got to work. Like, okay, I got to figure out what is the maximum size, lot size I can be taking on these trades and still be good and build my account. I had to go back and really start doing some math. Now, I hate to admit this now, but I was not doing any type of calculation to determine the position size I should be taking. And that is not the way you want to trade. In the end, it'll end up costing you money. I also had to get real with myself that I don't have to make the whole watt in one trade. This is about a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. If I make $1,000 on one trade, that's fine. If I make $500 on one trade, that's fine. Because it's gonna be setups all throughout the next, like forever, until time ends, right? It was about checking myself, not being greedy, being realistic with myself, and also my skill level, and then coming up with a strategy that would allow me to, even if I lose on a trade or two, that one trade that I do take that wins, I can make that back up. I got to work. I came up with a multi-pair risk calculator. And what that is exactly what it's named. What it does is you put in the pair that you're trading, you put in the stop loss based on your setup, and it outputs the maximum position you can take based on the desired risk. If you tell it, I only want to take a 0.25% loss on each of these trades, in total, let's say 1% altogether, that means really you can only take like 4 positions, maybe a little bit more, but depending on the currency pair. But it'll tell you what the maximum position you can take. And then I also added the feature for myself because I go through my charts every weekend and I go through all the pairs. I go through at least, I would say 15 to 20 pairs. And that's not all the pairs, but that's all the pairs I trade. I go through all the pairs and then I put down the ones that have setups. And then based off the ones that have setups, depending on which one has the highest risk to reward ratio, that's the one I'm taking, right? So in the calculator, the output comes out with the maximum lot size, and then it also gives me a color coded, green is like, yes, take this. This is a high setup. This is a great trade. And then yellow is like, it's okay. It's not terrible, but it's okay. And then red is like, nah, don't take this. Don't take this unless I have nothing else going on, and then I can take that trade. What I got for you guys today, you can have it. The link will be below in order to access it. But I must also say, I am not a programmer. This was something that I went into trying to find a solution for myself. And so if you find any type of glitch, if you find something wrong, definitely just email me at the email address at the bottom of this video and let me know, and I will work to fix it. I am not a programmer. Like I said, I just did it for myself, and then I'm like, this probably can help somebody else, because that changed the game for me. And my mentor gave it to me best. He's like, Casey, this tool allows you to map out the play, and all you gotta do is run it. And it made sense, because it's just like, what sports game, basketball, football, whatever, what game do you go into and start just playing in the middle of the game, don't know what's going on, haven't practiced any type of setups, know nothing, and you expect to win? That's exactly what I was doing last year. I'm just like, I got this. At that point, I was literally like gambling, really, right? And so, yeah, it made a whole bunch of sense. So I made this. I'll walk you guys through how it works, show you how to use it, and hopefully it'll help you guys how it helped me, and you'll get some use out of it. And if you like it, come back to the video, comment, let me know you do like it, and subscribe to the channel, because I'll have some more tools that'll help you guys and take your trading game to the next level. And then finally, like the video. Like the video. I'm a new channel. I'm trying to get YouTube to recognize that what I have is content and share worthy, and you can help the algorithm out by giving the video a thumbs up. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this calculator and the chart. Calculator pulled up. It is hosted through Google Sheets. Like I said, I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to get it to automatically upload to your Google Sheets. So the best that I can offer you at this point is for you to download it as Excel. It should export as an Excel file, and then just add it to your Google Sheets. I like it that way because I can access it from anywhere, and I can assess and figure out quickly, like the position size that I can take. All right, and here you'll see that there are two calculators. One is the trade and risk management calculator, and then the other one is a profit calculator. And then below is like a cumulative calculator that I'll show you how to work. So I put some instructions in here to try to give you an idea of how to work it, some very specific instructions. So the cells that are outlined in green are the ones that you have to input in order to get the maximum lot size to come out. So let's say, for instance, you have a $10,000 account, right? And you can choose what pair you want. They're all in here. I'm going to choose odd JPY because odd JPY paid me real dollars last week. And I expect it to continue doing so. And let's say on this trade, this is the only trade that I'm taking, right? I don't have anything else that I want to look at. And I want to go ahead and say, okay, I want to risk 2% on the account, right? So you see, when I selected this, I'm going to change it back to 0.5%. When I selected this, this number changed based on what I want to risk. So I'm going to go back, put it at 2%. So I'm telling the calculator, I don't want to lose more than $200, right? The setup that I've analyzed tells me that there's about a 75 pip stop loss. So I'm going to put in the stop loss. And then you won't get an output if you don't put a number in here. And the number that you put in here, as far as the number of positions you want to take, it has to be greater than 0. Because if it's 0, it's not going to put back anything. So let's say I want to take 2 positions. So up here, it tells me the maximum lot size I can take for this trade, right? So the maximum lot size I can take is 0.142 with 2 positions to only make sure I lose just $200, right? So if I change this to 1, it tells me I can take almost $3 per position, which is only 1 position. And I won't lose more than $200, right? Okay, so that's just if you have a single trade that you want to look at and you're not looking at multiple pairs. Now this one just tells you like what you're risking and what you're losing, right? So let's put in here the $10,000 account, and then I'm going to put in, this should not be box screen. I'll change that by the time you guys get to it. I'm going to pick odd JPY, right? And I'm going to put the same stop loss, 75 pips. So when I put in the 75 pips, it shot out the same information that's in the other calculator. It gave you the potential loss. And then let's say this setup is going to yield me 205 pips, right? And so it gives me what I could make on this trade, $546.67, right? And so down here, what this is this shows you how much the yen is worth to your dollar, right? So for my dollar, I know that I'm getting 93 cents, 93 and just above half cents for every dollar, which is how you calculate the position size that you can take and the profit that you'll make. Pretty easy and simple. And again, I'll make sure, let me do it right now so that y'all don't have to worry about that. So we take, hold on. So we took that border off because you shouldn't be touching this cell at all. You're going to mess up the whole sheet if you do, right? So only the ones outlined in green should you mess with, okay? So let's go down here. Down here is like if you got 5 or 6 setups that you wanna put in, right? And so underlined here in green is the only thing in addition to the desired account risk you should be touching. So I'm gonna put in that $10,000. That's my account size. And let's say I only want to risk total on the whole account 2%. 2%. Actually per trade, excuse me, not total account. So on the whole thing, I only want to risk 2%. I got 4 positions that I want to look at. I got odd, cat, and a sale, right? So let's just make up something. Price needs to retrace to the 61.8 fib level before entering, right? Okay, so I got that. So I know what I'm looking at, and when it's time to get in, I know that for this setup, I have a 40 pip stop loss, and I know on this trade that I stand to make 215 pips, right? And so you see over here, it tells me, based on me saying I only want to risk 0.5% on each position that I list in this calculator. So I only want to lose $50. In order for me to only lose $50, I have to trade this lot size. I have to trade it. And so my loss, my potential loss, I put P loss because the sheet was going to be really wide if I tried to spell both those out. So P loss is potential loss and P profit is potential profit.
So I'm risking $50 to make $268, which is over a 5-to-1 setup, right? That makes sense. I would take this all day. So the calculator is telling me in green, yes, this is a go. Like, remember when I said I mark up all my charts, I have a ton of setups. And so to make sure that I get the best trades possible and I give myself the best chance possible, I have it color coded so it'll tell me what's going on. So I'm going to put in odd JPY. This one is a sell too. Let's say needs to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 setup. Needs to break trend line and retest before entering. All right, so on this one, I got a little bit of a wider stop loss. The stop loss is about 100 pips. But on the upside, I stand to make 433 pips. So on this pair, if I only want to lose $50, which is 0.5% of the $10,000 account, I have to take this position. Now, I know it's about discipline. You know, you have the play in front of you. All you got to do is run it, because over time it's going to compound and it's going to make you some serious money. So even though you only take in, 50 cents per pip, if this plays out, you make $216. Now you see over here it's telling me that it's a 4-to-1 setup. That's still good, right? But it's not the best out of what you're looking at. You got other setups that make more sense. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add a couple more because we said 4 positions. Okay, I'm going to do odd NZD. I'm going to sell that. Enter at market open. All right. So on this one, I could put a little smoke behind it because it's a good setup. I know I'm only going to stand to lose like 25 pips. That's as far as price can travel. So if I can only stand to lose 25 pips, and let's say on this setup, I'm looking at 152 pips in profit, right? That's a 6-to-1 setup. That's gold all day. So even in this position, even if I lose out on those 25 pips, like I only lose $50. That's the point. And if this goes my way for 152 pips, I made $304. So now I'm monitoring this up here because this 0.5% is based on each position. So I'm looking at the total account risk before I execute on anything, right? So with these 3 trades, I'm looking at 1.5% losing, right? So total over here, P loss is potential loss. I'm looking at losing $150 in exchange for making $789.25. So let's add the last one in here, and we're going to choose CAD JPY. CAD JPY that tore my account up a year ago. And I'm just going to put a sale. I really don't know what's going on with this pair. I haven't looked at it yet. So I'm just going to put, that. And let's say on this pair, I have a 35 pip stop loss and I stand to make 171, right? So this one is a 4-to-1 setup. And actually, let's make this a little worse. We only gonna make 50 pips, just so you can see. This is an okay setup, but you've got better trades that you could take. So yeah, you can risk $50 to make $71, but wouldn't you rather risk $50 to make $304? If you only want to lose 1.5%. Right now, you're at 2% loss potential on the account, right? So this is color coded so you can decide what is the highest yielding setup that I can take. And you want to do the highest yielding because let's say you lost. Okay, let's say you take all 3 of these trades, right? Let's say you lose odd NZD. You've only lost $50, right? But you've made $268, you've made $216.50, and you made the $71. So even though you lost that trade, you still ended up in the blue because the other trades worked out. And even if it wasn't all of the other trades, even if it was only one, even if it was only one trade. So let's say you lost $50, but you won this CAT JPY. You lost 50, but you made 71, so you net $21, which is still an increase on the account, right? Or let's say you took this one, right? You took odd NZD, you lost it, and you took odd CAD and you won it. You lost $50, but you made $268.75. So you're up $218. Still a gain on the account. So you have to map out the play. You have to treat this like a business. You have to do it intentionally. You have to consider yourself a professional in order to take your trading to that next level. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope you got something from it. Like I said, I'm not a programmer at all. So if you find something wrong with this, please let me know and I will get it fixed. But based on what I've tested so far, it seems to work well. And let me know if you guys like it, if it works for you, all right? So make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful, blessed weekend.